Hey, as we wrap up this week, I want to just review our four kind of takeaways about how to let God meet you in the middle of your mess. You got to accept reality as it is, not as you would have it. You need to believe that God can empower you to obey right now. You need to commit to be patient and kind with those affected by the mess, and decide to trust God with what's out of your control. A, B, C, D. The believe that God can empower you to obey right now, that's what Abraham had to do. And that's what Abraham did do. I love the passage. It tells us, oh my gosh, probably around verse 15, maybe it is, 14, that Abraham was the whole scenario of having to send Hagar and Ishmael away created in Abraham great pain or great distress. Sarah had disdain for Isaac, for Ishmael and Hagar. Abraham had distress at the notion of giving up Hagar and Ishmael. But God said, listen to your wife Sarah. Do what Sarah has told you. This had to be really hard for Abraham. Remember, I mentioned this yesterday. God asking Abraham to do what Sarah said was not justifying Sarah's bad behavior. It was getting Abraham to take responsibility for his bad behavior. He slept with Hagar. He didn't trust God. He took matters into his own hand. He put his family in this place where two women were at odds. He got his priorities all turned around. Abraham failed to make following God a priority, loving Sarah right, treating her right a priority. So because of that, he had to take some responsibility. Boy, when you're in a place where you give your heart to someone outside of maybe a marriage, you have just jeopardized the whole thing. Because now you've brought someone in who's being affected by your compromised priorities. Whenever we let something take precedence over what should be our higher priority, it's a divided loyalty. It's what Jesus said when he said, you cannot serve two masters. Either you'll love the one and hate the other, or you'll despise the one and care for the other. You cannot serve both God and money. But it could be God and another woman. It could be God and your job. And in marriage, you can't serve two women. You can't have two women or two men who are your affection. It's going to create a divided loyalty, a mismatch in priorities. Huge thing. So Abraham had got it wrong plenty of times. But now what was his challenge? His challenge now was to believe that God could empower him to obey at this thing that was very hard for him to do. A, accept reality as it is, not as I would have it. This is the problem. B, believe that God can empower you to obey right now. Where's God asking you to obey? Is it to break off a relationship that's inappropriate, that's unhealthy, that's out of balance? Is it to take responsibility for making amends to a spouse you've hurt, a friend you've hurt? Is it to reconnect to your spiritual commitment to be faithful at church, to be devoted in attendance? Well, where has your missteps, divided loyalty, skewed your sense of priority? It's time to obey. Believe that God can empower you to obey now. The C, Abraham had to commit to be patient and kind with those affected by his mess. That meant being patient and kind to Sarah, even though she's upset and maybe out of bounds in her behavior. She's his first priority, and God calls him to be patient and kind with the woman of his youth, with the woman he's married to, with the woman he should be making his highest priority in the family. Patient and kind. Be patient and kind with Hagar and Ishmael send them away with kindness and something to hopefully sustain them, and the trust that God will ultimately take care of them. A, accept reality as it is, not as I would have it. B, believe that God can empower you to obey now. C, commit to be patient and kind with those affected by the mess, especially when you're the mess maker. And D, decide to trust God with what's out of your control. I love Alcoholics Anonymous. I love our Celebrate Recovery program. I love what it teaches us about how to not keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, because that is insanity. That's a deja vu of the sin that comes again. I love what it tells us, what Reinhold Niebuhr told us in the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as the pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did the sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that He will make all things right if I surrender to His will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with Him forever in the next. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face towards you and give you peace. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you this coming weekend. See you soon.